Hello, my soul tribe. Welcome to my channel. I am Celeste TT Tarot, and this is going to be the happy birthday spread for Virgo. I know it's late, but I go when I'm divinely guided to do so. And something that kept playing over and over in my head was from two famous Virgos, Michael Jackson and Beyonce. So one of them is day and night. So it's the part that got me working day and night. Got me working day and night. That part kept playing over and over. So some of you guys could feel like you're working day and night. And then Halo by Beyonce kept playing over and over. Specifically the part about that goes, remember those walls I built? But baby, they're tumbling down. They didn't even put up a fight. They didn't even make a sound. I found a way to let you in, but I never really had a doubt. Standing in the light of your halo, I got my angel now. It's like I've been awakened. Every rule I had you breaking. It's the risk that I'm taking. I'm never gonna shut you out. Everywhere I'm looking now, I'm surrounded by your embrace. Baby, I can feel your halo. You know you're my saving grace. You're everything I need and more. It's written all over your face. Baby, I can see your halo. Prayer won't fade away. And of course, you know the chorus, and that part definitely repeats. And then that's all I heard on that. The crazy thing is, the light that I'm using for your reading is actually shaped like a halo. I'm going to show you. You see that? So that's actually the light. Unfortunately, I cannot. You actually can't like see it, but it is shaped like a circle. So when I showed it to you on the camera, it popped up like a circle, but like filled in, but it's actually like a big hole in the middle. So maybe some of you guys could feel like there's a hole in the middle, a screw loose, something else I kept hearing. These are messages and downloads I was getting prior to your reading, so that's why I stay obedient, because I could miss a message, and those come through for me in days, especially during the season, and then when I'm divinely ordained to actually do the reading for it. So I kind of don't want to interrupt the process. So maybe some of you guys have a process, a method for your madness, so to speak. And I see cool your space anywhere, 2K or 2X. So maybe some of you guys are making space this fall, every road. These are words and channels that I'm getting. Something about starlit skies. I actually have cherry jasmine here that I'm using. Some of you guys could have gotten a little under the weather. I definitely been under the weather, but for the last 2 days only. So it's funny that right after the 30th, that night, probably like around midnight, is when I actually got fell under the weather, and then I kind of woke up in a cold sweat the next day, and I was fine. I went to work. I've been to work all this week, so that all kind of resonates. Take it however it resonates for you. So I pulled the Legacy Tarot and the Earth Warriors Oracle. So as you know, Virgo is an earth sign. It probably is like the youngest of the earth signs, you can say. They are, so Taurus is fixed, Capricorn is cardinal, Virgo is the variable one, just like for the air signs, Gemini would be the babies of the zodiac. For the water signs, Pisces would be the babies of the zodiac. I guess I'll keep the book out. So that's the legacy. For the fire signs, Sagittarius would be the babies. And for the, well, I already said you guys are the babies for the earth signs. And that's that variable sign where it depends on the circumstances. So I kept hearing, I'm glad I didn't, before I forgot it, conditions present, conditions precedent, and conditions precedent. So maybe some of you guys are doing research on conditions in the present time. Some of you guys could be doing this. Some of you guys could be trying to investigate conditions. It sounds like some type of contractual thing. And maybe some of you guys could be seeking information about it. As far as contracts for the 3D realm, which would be our earthly contracts, those, when it comes to conditions precedent, those are certain conditions that have to be met prior to the next action. So, for example, if you wanted to buy certain land, conditions precedent would be that you would have to pass zoning, do certain steps before you be able to enter into a contract. Maybe you'd have to come to the table with certain things. So, oh, excuse me. So maybe some of you guys feel like you have to come to the table for certain things before you enter into some kind of contract. Maybe some of you guys are thinking. Maybe some of you guys are grinding your gears before you enter into a contract. This could be a permanent contract, because I kept hearing these P's: precedent, present, and precedent. Permanent, partial, prior, prevention, maybe some of you guys are trying to prevent a contract. Oh, now my nose is running. I could be getting close. Give me 1 second. I literally just set you guys up wherever I wanted to. I had to get some tissue because I still am under the weather. And I also was divinely guided to show you this red Mount Fuji fan. My cousin just got back from Japan, and she brought me this fan. It is so pretty. But as you can see here in the workmanship, it's missing, like this piece came off. I could have torn it because, you know, I do that a lot. I am a Capricorn. We're a cardinal sign. And a part and parcel, I feel like, of our nature is a slight bit of clumsiness. It can come across as, like, aloof at times. It can also come across as, like, airheaded type of vibe. We often will be in our own world, as I am now, thinking I'm about to fix this fan. But it was that part. You can see it, right? So it's like, it was like a little chip in the design. So you see it? Now you can see it. So some of you guys are like perfectionists, but there's a chip in the design. Maybe you feel like there's a chip in the design. Something picture perfect. Maybe you wanted something picture perfect. Maybe you're working towards something picture perfect. There's more P's. Picture perfect. Okay, I'm going to start your reading. I'm actually going to anoint the cards here. Maybe some of you guys are like on the move. Prior engagement. This cherry jasmine smells so good. I can actually smell. I woke up and I had my sense of taste, touch, smell on my 5 senses back. Like I said, this is day 2. Usually day 3 is usually 3 days of an illness. I just finished day 2 because it came about at night. I'm already up working. Maybe somebody, you guys felt like somebody tried to wipe you out with an illness and didn't work. There was some sort of conditions precedent that needed to be met that weren't met. I don't know. Just channeling, take whatever resonates, leave the rest. Crazy thing is, my nephew called me earlier. He is a Virgo, and that is what I took as my sign that it was time. I'm like, oh, my Virgo nephew called. He didn't say anything really, just like, oh, checking in on me as he does. But it still was kind of strange. Like, hey, what's up? I feel like he misses me, so took that as a sign. It was time to do Virgo's reading. If I needed a sign, that was it. Go this way. There's a certain art to doing readings while you are under the weather. Missing something right here. I was missing something here. I missed to pull cards, so I'm going to pull the top and the bottom because there's the messages right in here for the right side. What is the right side? What is the right thing to do? The conditions precedent, conditions present, and the conditions precedent. Now you see, look, the incense is flowing my way. You see that? You didn't see any incense at first. It was going the opposite direction. Now, like reverse osmosis. Maybe some of you guys could be looking into reversing something. Okay. Let me clear my nose. I really apologize, but I have to take care of myself. So maybe some of you guys neglected to take care of yourself. I definitely, to some degree, I felt like it was coming. I haven't been sick or under the weather in a long time. I wouldn't even say it's a sickness. Sickness seems a little severe. Illness seems a little ill. I'm up working, operating, functioning. It is a form of sickness. I had appreciation and gratitude for it. Maybe some of you guys are grateful. Maybe it's a sign, proof that you're still human, that you're still alive. Look at the head. Amaru, Beautiful Place, 26, and Page of Swords. Okay, so we're going to read the card number 26, and for breaking down that card, that's card number 2 and 6, High Priestess and Lover. So Gemini energy, Pisces energy, it's crazy, 2 of the youths of the zodiac in another youth zodiac's reading. So there's maybe some connection there. You could be dealing with a Gemini or Pisces. Take that however it resonates. Could be displaying youthful energy, investigating something, doing your research. So Amaru. So I'll hold the card up. Okay. Your dreams of a more beautiful world are not a product of childish fantasy nor idle imagination. They are true spiritual visions inspired by the universal heart of the divine that yearns for beauty to be manifested in all worlds. You have a life purpose to assist in the creation of divine harmony in the world through sacred activism and expression of your soul talents. Believe that the beautiful world you long for is not only possible but part of your spiritual responsibility to create. Don't be scared to face a problem head on. You don't need to be willful about a solution, but in meeting the issue, you should simplify the complexity and recognize the practical steps that will create healing change. Keep practicality. Keep your mind and heart open as you ask for unconditionally loving guidance on how to evoke divine healing in any situation. An outcome is available to you that is far more beautiful and divinely inspired than what you can currently envision. Ask for divine help and trust unconditionally in the assistance that will lead you from the limitations of your current thinking into the perfection of what the divine wishes for you and our world. It has been said that peace is not merely the absence of war. Earth warriors understand we need to fight for peace in the world using our strength, courage, creativity, intelligence, and constant will to align with the peaceful presence within. Saboteurs will want you to believe that peace is passive, that it involves denial or detachment from the world, that it isn't relevant, practical, helpful, doesn't create change, and that to rest in peace is some sort of unhealthy spiritual indulgence. They will try to convince you of these lies to keep you trapped in violence and prevent you from accessing this powerful weapon against hate, a peaceful and compassionate heart. A human being with peace in their heart sees more clearly. They are more willing, able, and efficient, possibly, in acting on their spiritual guidance to bring genuine and potent healing into the world. Such humans are harder to manipulate, distract, and disempower. Amaru is an indigenous Australian word meaning beautiful place. The practice of connecting through song can be instructive with presence and awareness of our inner and outer terrain, how we experience the land around us and all of its multi-layered sacred nuance. We become able to connect and contribute in a meaningful way. We can sustain our uniqueness not as a defense against others or in competition with them, but as an offering of participation and nourishment. There is diversity and there is unity. Okay. So that is Amaru. Place your hands in prayer at your heart and bow your head. When you're ready, say the following. Let there be peace on earth. Let human culture be one of encouragement, optimism, innovation, engagement, wisdom, reflection, community, and guardianship of the planet and each other for the spiritual benefit of all beings. Let this be now so that our future knows the deep connection to the earth, this beautiful place, through the songs of wisdom and our own free will. So be it. Okay, let's read the Page of Swords. right. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's right here. The court cards, Page of Swords. Young but cool and steady, the Page of Swords is the acolyte of the power of the mind and will become formidable in time. This card indicates someone with an inquiring mind who is constantly learning from new and sometimes difficult situations. It is interesting then to note that the Legacy Tarot's Page of Swords depicts a youth who is offering us two crossed swords, perhaps in reference to the Two of Swords card, with its implications of indecision, compromise, and stalemate. So maybe some of you guys could be investigating or trying to figure out why you're at a stalemate, and you're going about it the wrong way because you're thinking in page energy. And page energy is not necessarily bad. I heard some of the readers, they get frustrated with page energy, but they forget that page energy is the activation, the actual action card of all of the, well, it's actually the, yeah, it's kind of like the, I guess you could call it, so the knight cards are the action cards. The page cards are kind of like the preparation cards, the inquiry cards, as it mentioned, the research card. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like, what is your intentions? Your intentions behind every action that you take, good or bad, are going to reflect the outcome. A lot of the times you will end up in a stalemate situation because you will be limiting your own mindset by inquiring to something that, for example, is not for your highest good or is a bad path that you decided to take. As long as you keep taking that path and inquiring into things that you really shouldn't be, you will keep running into stalemate situations because your intentions behind what you're doing and why you're doing it are malicious, and it'll keep you in a childish energy. That way you'll never mentally grow. So the Princess of the Rushing Winds, Lotus of the Palace Air, student, mentally active, forceful, communication, declaring, learning. Reverse keywords: self-critical, poor student, stubborn, rebellious, insecure, wasteful, prodigal, and pitiful. The Page of Swords is dressed in shades of sky blue silk. She has a high collar. Oh, I guess that's a female. You can take it however it resonates. Her blue hat is both adorned with a pair of white feathers and decorated with the alchemical symbol for air. Always at your service, the Page of Swords offers you a pair of crossed daggers, one silver and the other gold. These are the implements of honesty, logic, precision, and discernment. So when you're not using those for good, you are going to get stuck, because you cannot move forward and declare something that is a false. It results in you being stubborn, rebellious. It shows your insecurity, and it's a waste of time, because people are going to look at you as pitiful. The Page of Swords asks you to hone your analytical powers and to strive for impeccability. She can bring messages from afar about scientific or legal matters. It's funny, I was talking about conditions precedent and all of that. Winter. The Ace of Swords comes through the Page of Swords, who rules over the season of winter through the signs of Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. So there's Pisces again. Elemental combination: earth. Cold binds and dry shapes of air. Hot separates and wet adapts. Page of Swords is the earthly part of air, called the avenging force, where the senses subdue the intellect. Earth and air have no shared qualities, are unfriendly, and weaken each other. So it's the earthly part of air, called the avenging force, where the senses earth and air have no shared qualities, are unfriendly, and weaken each other. This creates difficulties for the Page of Swords, whose job is to find the practical application of ideas, gifts, discernment, advice. Speak your truth. The very spring and root of honesty and virtue lie in good education. I am among those who think that science has great beauty. A scientist in his laboratory is not only a technician, he's also a child placed before natural phenomena which impress him like a fairy tale. Okay. So some of you guys are stepping into your childlike nature, being more open to investigate something. But once again, watch your intention. That's in the mental space. Maybe some of you guys are curious about something. Okay. Left hand, we're going to pick up Hozo, Beauty Way of the Navajo, and we have the Magician. So we have card 1 and 1. So this is a synchronicity on the left hand. So Magician, Gemini energy, and this Hozo. So it looks like 2 Gemini cards because we got card number 1 and card number 1. So it talks about manifestation, manifesting your destiny. So you see that? So I'm going to read briefly the Hozo. Page 32. You are my sacred earth child, and I am your divine earth mother. With unconditional love, I provide all that you want and need so that you may fulfill your sacred destiny. We will always belong to each other. With abundance and generosity, I support you and reveal such divine beauty meant for you that joy and awe shall fill your soul. Relax now. It's time for you to be healed. It talks about being receptive, relaxation. Give yourself permission to rest. Don't try to figure it out by force. Let go and trust that what is needed is coming to you at the perfect time, the perfect way. Your peaceful mind shall readily and accurately perceive all that you need to know. Honoring life's beauty isn't about ignoring the reality of the world or becoming superficial. Instead, it is deep spiritual feeling of trust, openness, and appreciation of the divine presence shining in all aspects of life. Can you relax for a moment now? Today I will walk in connection with beauty. All darkness and evil depart. I am infused with beauty and peace. My thoughts and my words are beautiful. Nothing shall hinder my reverence and ease. I choose to walk in open and oneness with divine beauty. Okay. Let me see. And then the Magician. What it says here. Unlike Rider-Waite Conjurer with his table and his elemental symbolism, I have chosen instead to depict here a less mystical but no less intriguing character, a man of learning, both a student and a teacher of the scientists and physical forces of the universe. This is a manifestation of tangible knowledge, forces that can be tested and measured but are wondrous nevertheless. The instrumentation, equipment, and reading source provide hints as to his alchemical roots. Demonstrations and displays of this knowledge and manifestation of these natural forces may well appear as magic to others who are less informed, but he is no conjurer, and his actions are no parlor tricks. Our wizard-like figure deftly manipulates his various instruments, measuring chemical compounds and calibrating mechanical gears, constantly seeking to understand their delicate interplay. His dexterity is no doubt aided by his particular physical abnormality, which many cultures perceive to be a sign of a gifted individual. Old in the ways of knowledge. The Tarot's magician was originally a mountebank, a trickster or street magician in the earliest decks. Over time, his image transformed into mystical or spiritual. Okay, so maybe some of you guys with time have transformed into a mystical or spiritual being. You have manifested something. Beauty in only the way that you could. Let's see here. Viracocha, honor the light. So that was the left hand. I did a spread where The cards are all set out kind of like that stick head man. I did the head, I did the left, I guess you could call it the left arm. And now I'm at the bottom in the middle. You can probably consider this the sacred chakra, sacral chakra. And when your energy pops up. So maybe some of you guys are concealing, protecting, very protective of your sacral energy. And that's great. The fact that the Hermit came up. I could also be speaking to masculine Virgos because, you know, maybe some of you guys have went through life. You know, the Hermit in this card is somebody who's wiser, elderly. He shines the light, cleanses himself because he understands, you know, what's necessary. Um, and he's transformed into a warrior. And it's beautiful imagery because you see here, he looks worn and torn, but really with that light, this would be what he looks like in the light in the spiritual realm, right? So let's read that. Viracocha, which is card number 43. So card number 4 is Aries energy. Card number 3 is Libra energy. And we are in Libra season. So some of you guys could be looking for saving yourself for your divine counterpart, a wife or a husband. Honor the light. Okay? I guess I'm supposed to read yours first. Obviously. Our reclusive figure blends into the background. Skyline and mountain range. The winding path suggests disturbance and isolation. The hermit is pensive. His expression projects fatigue and effort. I said that there's no fun camping trip but an endeavor. In his isolation and solace, he can reflect without distraction, searching for truth and understanding. The glowing crystal replaces the more traditional lantern. The use of the crystal this way blends nicely with its role in the legacy tarot. It has a world-weary expression. Okay. Some knowledge takes the form of light and some takes the form of shadow. The knowledge of light is meant for the world. The knowledge of shadow is meant for you alone, but it is concealed until you are ready. At the edge of the universe, at the juncture of above and below, the hermit divides the light from the shadow and initiates you into the mysteries of both. Okay. And then card number 43. You are light bearer. Your sole purpose is to redress the presence of darkness on this planet through shining the light. You are meant to do this in the ways that feel most uplifting to you. What brings brightness to your spirit? Do those things. How can you create a loving legacy to remind others of the light? Exploring and expressing the light in ways that remind others to seek light is also a way to fulfill your divine destiny. Your light is powerful. Use it. People around you, perhaps even you, can sometimes get caught up in the troubles of the world, forget to focus on the light and their own creative power. Gently but persistently remind yourself, there's another P, persistently remind yourself and others to ask for divine help. This could be done according to each individual's belief system. Prayers will be answered. Focus on the light at specific moments during each day. Place sacred objects in your line of vision so you can see them and remember the light. Often you are a light worker, a light bearer, one who is divinely designed to receive and transmit light for the benefit of humankind and Mother Earth. You have more influence in situations to bring about divine conclusions than you may realize. Don't be afraid to use your light in all ways possible. Viracocha, he is a deity said to have risen from Lake Titicaca during the time of darkness to bring forth light. He made the sun, moon, and the stars. These could be simple altars, sacred spaces, beautiful sacred objects, or the act of burning incense, playing beautiful music, the daily practice of meditation, or oracle readings. Amplifying the inner light is a way to tap into your creative consciousness. Okay, it requires a strong mind, the ability to broadcast thoughts and feelings more clearly than many around you, and therefore possessing the potential to influence others. It is essential that you bring your mind and way of being back to the light many times a day. If you get into a dark mood, it doesn't only affect you, it may well bring many others down. Even if you are alone, hiding from the world under a bundle of blankets, your darkness doesn't go unnoticed, unfelt. Okay? Let's see. Gonna go for the middle here. Mama Kila, Mandela of the Moon, and we have Justice. Okay, so some of you guys could be dealing with a Libra. Card number 35 is Empress Energy, which is Libra. And then card number 5, Hierophant Energy, which is also Empress Energy, which is Taurus. So those are the Libra is a cardinal sign of the air signs, and Taurus is a fixed sign of the earth sign. So maybe something is fixed, and you know that's fair, balanced. Maybe you made your decision, and your gut, you getting a gut feeling about what that is and what's balanced and what's fair, and how that's gonna play out. It's something that's in line with your belief systems. Okay. So we're going to look up Mama Kila, card number 35. I, the Lunar Mother, bring you many mandala of the moon to manifest through the law of magnetic attraction. My mandala is the sacred portal through which your dreams, intentions, and visions shall pass into the wholeness of being from the realm of inspiration to the world form on earth. There is no need for doubt or concern, for even the appearance of delay signifies a divine feminine mystery is at work, with timing unfolding according to a higher loving wisdom. Trust that a falling away is meant to be. Have faith in new divine works being born. Creative works will reach fulfillment. Relax with trust and a positive expectation all your needs will be met. This makes it easier for abundance to flow and for all earthly and spiritual matters to fall into place. Things are changing even if you cannot see the physical evidence of this yet. Trust that your actions are leading you into a better way of life. Rely on the universe and you shall see how all things come together according to a timing and higher order that suits you in ways even better than you could have imagined yourself. People of the Peruvian Andes, we're very focused on something that we want to happen. We can become impatient and try to control the process. We may logically assume which steps should come next. If that fails to fall into place as we expected it will, we can make further incorrect assumptions. We might believe that since our plan didn't work out per our expectations, it must somehow mean that it won't work out at all. The Lunar Mother possesses spiritual understanding at a different level of awareness. She knows of your intent. And I said this before. She recognizes that the divine is permitting you to create what it is you want to bring to life upon the earth, but that there are stages of the creative process that must be honored. On a practical level, keep faith. New Age circle often espouses the wisdom of following the path of least resistance, based on the Chinese philosophy of Tao. This wise teaching is often misinterpreted to mean that if things get difficult, one is on the wrong path. Is not to resist the natural cycle of creation. This means accepting the symbolic night during which we cannot act, we cannot see. We have to rest and be patient, having faith that the day will dawn at the right time. Thus, we do not insist on immediate manifestation directed by our own personal opinion about how, why, when, and where. Instead, we believe that the universe honors our right to create and is working with us intelligently to bring life to the yearnings of our heart. Divine has a destiny intended for you. When you surrender, you are led into it. Your spiritual destiny has been crafted for you alone by the source that created you and knows you with extraordinary and unconditionally loving intimacy and wishes for your complete fulfillment. We don't have to attempt to direct the divine and its mysterious workings of love. Okay. So balance is the key, right? Libra energy. I feel like I don't have to read that because we are in Libra season, and I've read a lot of like legalese words. So maybe some of you guys could be looking into contracts. As I mentioned again, we got other P words: process, practicality. Let's do this card. Nena Buluku, she rests to create. Card number 29. Page of Cups. Card number 2 is the High Priestess. Card number 9 is Hermit. So those are, once again, Pisces and Virgo energy. You could be dealing with a Pisces, a Libra, another Virgo, Gemini, yeah, Taurus. Okay. We're going to read card number 29. She rests to create. I definitely rested to create it because I thought I was going to be ready to do this reading on the 30th, but it was like, no, not so. And also on the 29th, it was like, not so. Your energy is a precious resource. And there are ways of being that can enhance, amplify, and replenish it. Give yourself sufficient rest, and you shall find the way forward more effortlessly. Explore the lifestyle that grows your inner resources rather than requiring constant exhaustion to accomplish an endless list of external pursuits. You need this shift in being now because you are ready to accomplish more. For this to take place, there needs to be less effort and more wisdom. Trust and value what can be achieved through rest. Work harder, not smarter. Working smarter, not harder. And maybe that's the alienation there. You've been working harder, not smarter. Because it says, bring the sacred visions held within your heart to life. An increase of energy and peacefulness is indicated. You can't operate like in chaos and get something accomplished. It also, like the Page of Cups, fell on the floor. And I kept trying to catch it, and it kind of just jumped on the floor again. So it's kind of like you're blocking your own creativity, right? Because you can't possibly have a pure, innocent cup if you have malicious intentions. Just kind of bringing that up to someone that you can have a bucket of pure, cold, divine water, and if you drop a piece of dirt in it, it muddies up the whole bucket. Right? So you have to be careful. That's what they mentioned about your intentions, your mood, your attitudes, your process. Trying to force the universe, direct the universe, going against the grain. It's just not going to work. It's not going to result in anything good for anyone, and it leads to disrest. You can't rest, and therefore you can't create, and everything you do is going to be short term and hollow, right? Because it has no substance to it. See, this cup is empty. You can fill your own cup using your creative endeavors, but your intentions must be pure. The Page of Cups speaks of that. It's a level of innocence, and you know when you're using your innocence for a good purpose or when you're using your innocence for a bad purpose. My cousin's sneaking past here. And she's actually a Sag. Did I get any fire yet? Nope. Didn't get no fire, but I did say Saggies were the baby of the fire signs in the zodiac. You have unusual ideas or ways of being that suit you but may not suit others. Regenerates you through peacefulness and joy. I said that high energy does not necessarily mean that which is highly stimulating. So some people just do things for the sake of doing it, for stimulation. There's no actual depth behind it. She is the grandmother creatrix, the supreme feminine creative principle of the West African myth. She created the universe, then rested. African spirituality is based on a holistic view where no issue in one's life is separate from the spiritual world. Recognizing that the spirit is intimately involved and lovingly invested in every single aspect of your life is how you begin to generate restful consciousness. You can release striving and pursuit in favor of activity that comes from a place of inner inspiration born from rest. So maybe some of you guys are restless because it keeps telling you to rest. I see like soft life here. It's like live the soft life. Stop trying to control things because you're operating in a youthful energy, and that can go either way. When you elevate into your protecting your sacral chakra, that's when all of these major arcana comes out. But the mental space still needs development. The right, I guess you would call that the hand, the things that you do. You can say they have good and or bad intent. The energy that you put out, like the ends of the tips of your fingers, the tips of your toes, your foot as a unit itself, and your hand as a unit itself, your palm, has several energy sources. Right? And so if there are good intentions behind it, when you use your hand, your feet, then you can produce good outcomes. If they're bad, then they'll leak out bad outcomes. Okay. And this applies to everybody. I mean, I definitely was disobedient and not resting. I was working. I often get put in very tenuous, stressful situations that based on my day job or my day career. Um, I'll get a whole bunch of things thrown at me at one time, and then I'll be expected to produce in such a short amount of time. I also have a clientele service base. I'm in a service based industry. So that in and of itself can produce restless type of dispositions, but I have been getting my rest, and getting days where need be and just letting it ride. So we're going to look at the left hand. Then Pano Pano, immeasurable power of the heart weight and King of Cups. So we get a lot of masculine energy here. So this could indicate feminines, masculines could be elevating to feminine status. Feminines look like they are in the Magician and the Justice sector. There could be some mental immaturity for feminists because I see a female here with a child, and this could be this Page of Swords child with a lion, all blended into one, and a unicorn. So the mental space could be in a creative space, but it has to be for good thoughts. Good thoughts produce good results. Positive thoughts. Negative thoughts are going to produce stalemates, negative results, and your manifestations are not going to come out the way that you want them because your intentions behind them are not on the up and up. But the King of Cups is somebody who's compassionate, who's highly intuitive, who is the king of his castle. Basically, when it comes to emotions, he can't be emotion manipulated. He feels from all spectrums of all perspectives, and he has an understanding, even in situations where you may feel like he doesn't know what he's doing. So maybe you feel like somebody is misinterpreting on the left hand, on the right hand. So the right hand's creativity, the left hand is more logical. So in your logical space, you're actually embodying on the left hand your actual creativity, and combining them to come to a higher understanding and to elevate and master your emotions so that no, you cannot be manipulated. You have a healthy sense of self-love, and the King of Cups cup is full, as you can see here. And even if it's not full, he has a more mature way of knowing when express emotions, knowing when to hold on to emotions, knowing when and how much to give, knowing when to pull back for self-preservation. Obviously, because if you're coming in his castle, you have to have a level of emotional maturity and a level of emotional purity. So purity is the thing. So on the right hand, people can present as pure, but he's going to be able to see who's truly pure with this Page of Cups energy. It's kind of how I'm getting it. And his intuition is going to say, it's going to allow him to weed through the one that rests to create and the one that does not rest and creates nothing. And the cup is actually empty, but the presentation, you see the blue and the gold here is something. So that's that Page of Cups energy. So some of the Virgo feminines, if you are coming across as that, you could be tapping into your childhood creativity, but be careful about your intentions. I will just keep saying that. Okay? But I mean, this is beautiful energy. So I'm not seeing anything. I see the masculines rising, the magician here. So they're rising up the arm, going with the flow, but just make sure you review the mental space because we got a Page of Swords, and like I said, it's not necessarily a bad energy, but it would be more like the King of Swords, somebody with more integrity. It's like you have two paths to go. You could choose the route of integrity, or you could choose the path of darkness, and wherever you go, that's what's going to be manifested, because what you put out in the universe you get back. Okay, Libra energy in the middle. So your heart space is what's important. If you want to make things fair, you want to make things right, then the manifestations for you will be as you so desire, because it's coming from a good space. Card number 3-3, Empress energy, double Empress energy in Tikana, child of the light. And we have the Tower, Scorpio energy. So some of you guys could be dealing with that or have that in your chart. That is the right, that would be more like the right shoulder. This could also be like the right side of your brain. Which is considered the more, I mean, not right, left. So some of you guys could be like going back and forth between those two. So the Tower, so when it comes to your logical side, you could have had an aha moment, going through a transformation, deciding that you want to change things for the better. Maybe some of you guys have came to a logical decision that things need to change. Let's go to card 33. And you're ready to make that change. It may cause destruction, but you understand and you're mature enough to know that in order for you to manifest the life that you want, you're going to have to, destroy and transform the life currently as you know it. And that doesn't necessarily mean like you're going through like Godzilla and tearing buildings down, right? Even though that's what the Tower is. What it is you shine the light in the dark places, because this Tower is your soul. It's the things that you build up that make you who you are. If you operate in darkness, you lose your soul, your sense of light. You lose your child of the light. You see the butterfly here, so this is guiding you towards your transformation. So it's not necessarily tearing everything down, because with the King of Cups, I'm not even concerned about the process you're going through, actually, because you might have a Scorpio in your life, or a Pisces in your life that's kind of guiding you through this process. If you do, or a Gemini in your life as well, that's also guiding you through the process, because I see Scorpio, Pisces, and Gemini, also Libra. So whatever individual you have in your life that's guiding you through the process of transforming your life, it is allow you to tap into your child of the light energy and going through a shedding process. Maybe becoming a man, able to stand on your own, think for yourself, feel out things for yourself, emote for yourself. Maybe you're stepping up more You're speaking out more about things that are not acceptable to you, things that you won't stand for, and you are um uh prepared to force a change if necessary. It may be other people may feel like it's not logical, it's destructive. They don't like it, but you don't care because you feel like it's what taps you into being a child of the light. It makes you light-hearted, frees you, right? Allows you to clear space for your manifestation. Um there is a divine light that does not cast a shadow, nor does it cast judgment, even though it reveals truth. So revelation of truth. Maybe some people don't want something to get out, and you think that is necessary in order to balance things, reveal the truth, a truth that is sometimes hard to acknowledge and requires that we change our ways. I was just saying all of that. True divine light is healing, it is unifying, it brings hope and illuminates the way. Other sources of light exist on this planet that are not so pure nor so helpful. Those sorts of light may appear stunningly bright, yet in effect create separation and increase ego. You can recognize genuine divine presence not by how dazzling it may appear at first, but by what your devotion to that divine light evokes in your heart and your world. Trust your feelings over appearances. Well, there you go. That's why I'm not concerned. Move away from influences that create fear, negativity, or doubt. Reach out for that which uplifts your heart. Spiritual protection is being offered. Refuse to be dazzled by ego masquerading as something spiritual. Through your prayers and effortless efforts, maybe it's effortless for you. That's why I said I'm not concerned actually. It looks like you're already in the process. And your hand, your palms, you're trusting your intuition, your knowledge, you're in your logical space, especially as a masculine. That's a beautiful place to come out in the reading on the left side. That would be more masculine energy, and I'm seeing masculine energy littered throughout. The feminine has been sitting in their manifestation. They've been sitting in balance. They've been curious about possibly what's going on in the world, doing research, but and they've also been tapping into their creativity. But the masculines have really been leveling up, girls. So hey, my feminine Virgos, but my masculine Virgos, I gotta give it to you. Reach out for that which uplifts your heart. Let's see. There will be an intersection of events and circumstances in your physical world through which that light shall pour forth and manifest itself as grace. Continue with your spiritual devotion. There is something truly good to come of it. That's what I think about the King and Queen of Cups. Grace. Giving people grace, but understanding things that you won't tolerate. Understanding energies that block your creativity, energies that operate and masquerade as ego, that are very flashy, attention seeking, externally validating. The Hermit card asks you to go within. How do you validate yourself if nobody's watching? That's the true testament of whether or not you are a light worker or not, or just wanting the light shined on you, which is ego. In the Incan tradition, Inti is the physical sun and the spiritual presence inherent in the sun's life giving energy. When we are faced with deep unknowing, which is what happens when we are growing spiritually and moving through a spiritual initiation, we have outgrown what our minds are capable of providing. I just said that, outgrowing of your actual mind and upgrading. Rest in the divine light within. This oracle foretells the positive conclusion of a soul initiation. If dark and depressing thoughts have plagued you or a loved one, this oracle brings a spiritual intervention of joyful light. Open up to the joyful life and peace to fill your heart and your home. Okay? Okay, on the right, Totemic Puma, Power Awakening, card number 3, and 10 of Wands. So I did mention, I was like, where's the fire? So the fire just popped out on the right hand, creativity, fire energy. 10 of Wands is Sagittarius card. Talks about overcoming obstacles, achieving responsibilities, obligations. And then we have this one's card number 3. So this will be Empress card. So awakening your power, tapping into your actual Empress energy, burning away any and all obstacles. Rising, feminine rising. It says power awakening. So we're going to read that. But that is Sagittarius energy. On the one hand, it's the end of a cycle of like handling all your responsibilities, your obligations. Once you get everything done, it's done. The cycle's over, and you have accomplished everything that you needed. But sometimes it says you carry so much with you on the negative side that can overwhelm you. You can get overwhelmed easily. And if you don't shed some of this, you carry this with you everywhere you go. And then it becomes a burden for your soul, and it will block your ability to rise in your creativity and who you are as a person, man or woman. So card number 3, I am Puma. With you, I awaken the vigorous energy, fierce power, and ability to act without hesitation when the moment is right. Kind of reminds me of Knight of Wands. My patience and strategy, my preparation and precision, my fearlessness and decisiveness are now your own. Allow my sacred medicine to fill your soul and bring courage to your heart. You have come into your power. You've got this. Don't let fear or hesitation hold you back. Apply yourself fully to the task. Let go of old ways of viewing yourself as incapable, scattered, or wasteful of energy. You have the ability to focus intently, to generate clear intention, and achieve your ambitions through methodical steps and an applied will. You have the internal resources you need for successful completion. Even if no one else recognizes your potential or believes in your future success, they will understand differently in due course. By then, you will already be moving on to your next task. So I talked about this: task, responsibilities, obligations. When you know it's time to leave, do so without hesitation. Puma moves through your soul as guardian and guide. When Puma appears as a significant sign, you have come into your power. It moves with stealth and silence, observant and patient. As she narrows her focus, she cultivates energy so that the correct amount of inner power for the outer action is there when needed. When she strikes, it is with precision and effectiveness. She doesn't waste energy. She chooses her opportunities. Hesitation is not in her nature. There is no time or energy for doubt and uncertainty when one is fully engaged, consciously participating in the moment. Puma is cautious, steady, and poised until the right moment to act is upon her. Then she leaves her cover behind, and with unwavering focus she strikes. You are guided by her to keep your motives, plans, and preparation out of public view. Attend to your work. Become ready to be it rather than talk about it. Be about it, don't talk about it. Even if the destiny you're seeking to manifest is big and bold, there will be simple steps to take along the way. She is a huntress with singular focus. She goes after what is required at each moment, one step at a time, and thereby attains her goals. She strikes successfully because she works precisely. Take time to formulate your goals. Go after them one by one with patience and calculated timing. Take charge of the situation through a willingness to bide your time. Cultivate energy, encourage, and trust your intuition. Puma might bring us the power we need to step into a new role, seize control of a failing project, cut off a toxic situation in our lives, or cease unhelpful negative self-talk. She indicates that a changing relationship with power is available to you now. If you have been repelled by the malicious use of power by others or even yourself, recognize this and let it go. Forgive. Give yourself the chance to use your power safely and wisely. So that Knight of Wands card, doing things without thinking, but doing things methodical and calculated. That's the difference between it being upright, what I read here, and upside down, twisted, because then you'll get repelled by malicious intention. So that's the only way you can rise, clear out all the obstacles, Take care of what you know you need to take care of. Relieve yourself of this. Close this chapter out. And then you'll be able to step back into that Knight of Wands energy. For the feminines, being on the move maybe. Passion, creativity. Being like the puma. Okay. So I think I put that up. Overall, 3 of Cups. So friendship, celebration, Cancer energy. I believe Cancers are the cardinal signs of the water sign. And we have Padma Sundari, card number 17, Aquarius energy. Out of darkness, the light is born. Okay. I'm going to hold this up. Card number 17. I'm going to read that. Okay. The light is powerful enough to survive exposure to the darker side of humanity and remain pure, empowered, and effective. Trust in your spiritual purpose as a light in this world. Trust particularly your ability to bring purity, order, grace, and light to disorder, chaos, and destruction. The divine is ever by your side and ever within your heart, assisting you with this higher purpose in all ways. All issues can be healed through the unlimited recourse and creative resourcefulness of the divine. You're destined to be part of the creative solution for issues you have in your life or that exist in the world and touches your heart. A problem only exists so that divine genius can resolve it. Struggles are sometimes the best way for us to learn something we need to understand for our life journey. Trust that when you ask for help, even apparently impossible situations can be turned around. With willing human engagement and divine grace, there's more than enough light, healing, creative innovation, wisdom, and energy available to keep Mother Earth and all her creatures, including humanity, thriving. Never give up your hope and trust in what is possible, nor your willingness to act upon that hope and trust. Okay? You are able to do a lot of good in this world. She will assist you. Allow the light of spirit in your soul so you never get fear you are doing anything on your own. Regularly remind yourself you have a divine sponsor, guide, coach, partner, friend with you always. That friend has unlimited resources and the most potent will of all. Notice how your confidence to take action increases. Part of your spiritual path requires that you walk your talk and live in a way that shows optimism and practicality. When something's not working, we don't need to hide from it in shame. We face it because we have spiritual self-esteem and self-confidence. Along with the power of your divine connection, you have the intelligence, ability to find information, educate yourself, and try out new behaviors to become an active part of the solution for any matter that moves you deeply. Taking these steps will boost your self-esteem and your energy levels, helping you feel good about yourself and your presence in the world. It's not about being perfect, but taking that next step for you. Trust in divine timing. Okay? So, divine timing is at play. For restoration, hope, healing, Aquarius energy. So let me see. So which starts in January. So party and celebration could be being planned in January. Aquarius season, which will be the end of January. And then on the back, overall, medicine horse we got. Card number 41, Emperor, which is Aries energy, and 1, Magician, Gemini energy. And then that is clarified by 8 of Pentacles, working. Okay? So this is your card. The mastering your craft, doing your research, working, financial practicality as well, good work ethic. So let's read card number 41. I'm also going to read the 8 of Pentacles. Some of you guys are actively working on this. Card number 41. Or masculine energy, it looks like, because we got the Hermit. And as you can see, this is the same person. That's why I said it's your card. See? Moving from the darkness, stepping into the light now with the intentions. Okay? So some of you guys are stepping out. You have mastered something and you are ready to present yourself and your ideas and what it is that you actually want. It's like a level of maturity, maturing, growing up, becoming your own person. I am Medicine Horse, bringing you the message of freedom, journey, and progress. Do not act as though you are a beast of burden. That was that beast of burden. You see that? Claim your innate divine divinity. Allow yourself to feel and be graceful, recognize and honor your needs for rest, openness, safety, and respect. An ability to hear, know, feel, and feel spiritual truth, which will guide you in every aspect of your life journey, is opening up. Connect with your spirit. Live your truth. There's a powerful and sacred bond between your soul and the animal kingdom. If you have a beloved animal has left this world, here's a message. That creature is completely forgiven and completely forgiving. As you respect your inner guided wisdom, your life experience will improve. You will successfully navigate your way around negativity, healing, spirit communication, and loving repair of the sense of self after any type of abuse is indicated. There is spiritual support and assistance for a journey ahead that will take you far. Progress is being made. Horse medicine brings a special type of healing through two particular equine traits: authentic connection and heightened sensitivity. Many types of emotional damage to human beings can be healed through the experience of these principles of horse wisdom. To mirror one's emotional experience with authenticity, presence, honesty, and acceptance in a way that builds a sense of real connection to another living being. Horse medicine is the soul medicine of trust. Trust in oneself, trust in relationship, trust in our bodies, intuitions, instincts, and in life itself to guide us and provide us with what we need. Humans can recognize and develop healing compassion for their wounded tendency toward hypervigilance and defensiveness through witnessing the exquisite sensitivity of the horse. Our interpretation of past experiences changes, empowering us to leave behind old points of view, form identities, and negative expectations for the future. Horse doesn't want to be held back in any way, and its appearance is a sign of progress being made in physical worldly pursuits. Okay? Sweep the Eight of Pentacles, and then I will let you guys go. And I kind of just jumped in there, but I feel like this is how you guys kind of are. You just jump in there, get to work. That's what the Eight of Pentacles is the overall. So, let's see. Alright. Before becoming a craftsman, depicted in the Three of Coins, much work and effort has to be invested. The challenge may not be easy. Some things cannot be achieved without due effort. Perseverance is the key. There's another P. A commitment to learn, to practice, another one, with trial and error to finally master. The apprentice here studies and ponders, another P, the task. So we got perseverance, practice, process, I see here, ponders, okay. The apprentice here studies and ponders the task. He is surrounded by 8 coins, each suggesting different stages of the process, from basic instructional diagrams to increasingly more finished items, a steady learning curve, a progressing acquisition of skill and knowledge. Whether you choose to craft something valuable, you must take your time and give it care and attention it deserves. It is also important to remember that no significant endeavor bears fruit without contemplation. It's about being competent, diligent, and detail-oriented, or it may represent getting a great deal done by focusing on one task at a time. However, the man we see here seems tired, puzzled, or discouraged, perhaps in reaction to a perplexing order or a distressing bill that he's reading, which may indicate a possible bump on the road to success. Training, learning, selling something, economy, cunning, practical success, commission work, vanity. Talks about prudence. overall. Reversed. Overly careful, hoarding, voided ambition, overqualified. Description: man studies blueprints for coins in a pleasant room next to window. Light shines in through green tinted glass. He is working with the sacred geometry to study the pursuit of wealth with worthy intentions. His tools on the table are the triangle and the compass. There is pleasure and profit in honest work. More skill and technique can be developed, perhaps in an apprenticeship. Practice makes perfect, and you can learn from the experience you gain. Sun in Virgo, refinement, for fastidiousness. Seek right livelihood. Advice: seek right livelihood. The only prudence in life is its concentration. Okay? That was Ralph Waldo Emerson. So I'm going to leave it there. That is your reading. You can check out all the cards here. So you can see how they look from my point of view. Okay? And I hope you enjoyed your birthday. Bye.